Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namami Gauda Padam Jashankaram Sri Sureshwaram Swaminam Satchidanandam Indram Tam Jnana Rupini. So we have been discussing misconceptions about Shankara. It's a small booklet. It compiles all the deviations, differences from Shankara maintained by the post-Shankarites. Not only post-Shankarites, some of the academicians too. So those few points we have done. So one was that Sarvajna and Sarvashakti. Brahman and Ishvara. Brahman and Ishvara. These words have been used synonymously by Shankara. Whereas post-Shankarites, they call them two stages. Ishvara is a lower stage that we have been discussing anyway. Where did I write all these things? Ishvara is a lower stage, Brahman is a higher stage. Okay. And even some, and the next very interesting point is, interesting means a difficult point, let us say, is, he says, Tadevam avidyatmaka upadhi parichedapekshmeva ishvarasya ishvaratvam. So Ishvara is called Ishvara only in relationship with Jiva. Adu avidyatmaka upadhi apekshaya. So due to ignorance, due to avidya, there is a jivatvam. And with reference to jiva, you call one who rules over jiva. Jiva means body, mind and sense organs. One who rules over jiva is Ishvara. Means Ishvara himself is not bound by the body, mind and sense organs. One who is not bound by the body, mind and sense organs, he can rule over. One who is bound by the body, he can't rule, because he himself is ruled by the body. The jiva is ruled by the body, controlled by the body, mind and sense organs. So when jiva identifies himself with the body, sense organs and mind, body restricts him, facilitates certain things, restricts certain things, means it controls him, it permits him only certain things, not beyond. Sense organs too. Those who help, you see, this is very interesting. Those who help, we feel so happy that somebody is helping me. In the worldly parlance, I am talking. In the worldly sense, those who help are not helping you. You think that they are helping you. They are making you a slave of you. Okay. A person, whoever gives you something, makes you dependent on that. That's why Manu says, Sarvam paravasham dukkham sarvam atmavasham sukham. Whatever is paravasham is dukkham. When you take help of something, somebody, means you are dependent on that. You take help of somebody or something, you become dependent on that. When you don't take help of it, you are independent. That independence is freedom. Freedom is a joy. Freedom is happiness. Dependency is a misery. Therefore, sarvam paravasham dukkha. Any dependency amounts to misery. Sarvam atmavasham sukham. Any independence is happiness. Independence is happiness. Dependence is misery. Such a brief statement is of Manu. So, these days it has become, these are the days of commercialization. all relations have become commercial. At least there were restrictions to commercialization. In the nowadays, all relations, even the government and people relation, has become commercial. Earlier, Raja was treated with a great respect. King also would look upon the people as my children. So something like it was a family relation. Parents look upon children with love and care. Children also look upon parents out of respect, with respect, and see. So in the relationship, there was some kind of upasana. Children respecting parents is not simply respecting out of need. Even if parents give them little trouble, they are harsh with them, give them trouble, still children respect, because that's how the Shastra. It is a dharma as well as upasana. Because parents are the representative pratika of Paramatma. Parents are the pratika of Paramatma. Therefore, you respect the parents, you are respecting Bhagavan alone. That's why that Taittiriya mantra says, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. So, treat or take your father as Bhagavan, take your mother as Bhagavan. Means Bhagavad Bhavana upon your mother and father. Because of intimacy, closeness, you may take them for granted. So a relationship where two people come too close, too intimate, some kind of distance is required. Some kind of upasana is required. Then only the relation is sustained. Otherwise, ati parichayat avajñā. The Sanskrit proverb says, too much of intimacy creates, you tend to ignore the person because of excess of intimacy. Therefore, where you have to live together for a long time with excess of intimacy, the relation should be a kind of upasana. Therefore, parents also feel that it is my duty. See, parents, once they marry and become grahastha, they feel that we must have a children to carry out our duty towards our pitrus. So it is a pitru yajna. To carry our duty, that's why they go and pray to God and do puja and do tirtha yatra, do all sorts of things to get the children. Because to getting the children is a Ishvara's anugraha purvajanma punya. Therefore, producing children is a due to punya, and bringing up the children is a dharma. You get a lot of punya for it. You become free from your runa. Therefore, parental relationship with children is a dharma, is an upasana. Similarly, children's relationship with parents also is an upasana. Guru Shishya relationship is also an upasana. Guru feels that, Shishya feels it is an upasana. That's why Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, the shloka says that treat Guru as somebody equal to Bhagavan. Then Guru also, because he is clearing his debt of whatever he received knowledge from his Guru, he has to hand over that knowledge, he has to give that, pass on the knowledge to next generation so that he will be relieved of his debt. So that becomes a kartavya. You can't ignore your student, you can't look down upon your student because it is a dharma. See. So similarly, husband-wife relation also is a part of dharma, is an upasana. Unless there is dharma, there is upasana, the relation won't last. Won't last at all. This is how we are seeing. Similarly, Jiva Ishvara Sambandha, it requires an upasana, a bhakti, because whatever I receive, I should be grateful to it. If I receive some comfort, some pleasure, some support, some help, I receive it and then I don't care. I remain ungrateful. It is a big papa. Ingratitude is a papa. Kritagnata is papa. This is what Shastra says. Therefore, whatever I receive, I am grateful to them. And the one who gives, not only grateful, I treat him with respect. Not only now, just we say thanks. That's why that English word thanks, it looks that it is a good word. In a way, it is good, but it is not a complete word. It doesn't convey the complete idea of Hindu culture. Once you say thanks, your indebtedness is over. Your gratitude comes to an end. Okay? Gratitude comes to an end. Thereafter, you can do anything. You are independent. But in India, whatever help you receive, gratitude remains. But later also, throughout your life, Bhagavan comes to our help through various people. Therefore, throughout life, you remain respectful to them. This is the one. Therefore, the idea of thanks generally puts an end to the gratitude, or at least we say the relation ends with it. See that in India, when you learn from a teacher, like the Gurukula, Manu says, you study from Guru and then leave the Gurukula after completing your studies, then lifelong you should remain uh, a devotee of your. That's what Shastra says. So that is a part of your sadhana. It is not a part of relationship. If it is a part of relationship, you say thanks, relation ends. Relation doesn't end. It is a part of your life. It is a kartavya. It is a sadhana. Throughout your life, you maintain it. That means it is a part of your character. It is a part of your culture of your mind. Then it becomes a passion. Therefore, we are indebted to all Panchabhutas, Devata, Rishi, Pitru, Manushya Samaja, Manushya Yajna, and plants and animals. Animals, insects, and plants. We are indebted, we are grateful to all people. That's why we say we are not supposed to kill any plant, any animal, any insect also. So, this was a simple expression. This is a little deviation, let me say, but yet we need to understand this culture. We have to see Bhagavan comes in the form of assumes various forms, helps us through these various forms. Therefore, animals, insects, plants, all these put together lower animals, lower living beings, lower jivas. So even the lower jivas are helping us. As the modern science says, it maintains the ecology, it maintains the environment, ecological balance. And then our Shastra says that they are also Ishvara's form. Therefore, we have to be grateful to them, respect them. So this was a simple expression. Nowadays, in the 20th century, unfortunately, is a very wrong century. I don't know, I am not at all happy with 20th century. This has become Vedantic century. Nothing wrong in being a Vedantic century. But the Vedantic century has become an anti-karmakanda century. It hates culture, values. It hates all rituals, relationship. The Vedanta has become a communistic Vedanta, is a Nastika type of Vedanta it has become. So this Vedanta, particularly this English medium international Vedanta, English medium international Vedanta has become particularly against our culture and rituals. They taunt the rituals, culture, all that thing. They talk everything is Brahman. Is everything is Brahman has become a fashion. It has become a craze for people, craziness also. So they say, because of this, I saw one old lady. She brought her granddaughter. And she says, she told herself, everything is Bhagavan. Everything is Bhagavan. I said, don't teach the children everything is God. They get confused. And she says, if everything is God, you pluck the flower for puja. She says, you are plucking God then. This is what even all Dvaitins and even non-Hindus are criticizing Hindus for this. If everything is God, then we are trampling. If earth is God, we are trampling over God. Then if flower is God, we are plucking God. Then if food is God, then we are eating God. How do you understand that? Then she's struggling hard, trying to give some explanation to her granddaughter. I say, don't teach God. Say that it deserves respect from you. It is a God-given thing, or it is working under God. It is in another form, another manifestation. It is a gift of Bhagavan. All these plants and animals are jivas working under the guidance of Bhagavan, governing of Bhagavan. So they are helping you. The help comes to you through them. Therefore, be grateful to them. Be respectful to them. See, we say Devata Upasana. We didn't say everything is Bhagavan. This everything is Bhagavan in the 20th century English medium Vedanta. So this has become indigestion. This English medium 26th century global Vedanta has become indigestion to Hindus. Therefore, they are getting confused. And it has become easy favor conversion. When you lose our Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, our culture, then everything is Vedanta, means all atheists are becoming Vedantins. Without culture, without Upasana, Vedanta doesn't and cannot survive. And it can't be understood too. It can't be understood. You want to gain the knowledge without sufficient preparation, purity of the mind. Okay. Therefore, I will simply say respect. They are jivas in many places. They are all working under Bhagavan. Therefore, be grateful to them. Take whatever help. You take help of a flower. Be grateful to the plant. Otherwise, if you say Bhagavan, then how will you take the flowers? If you say Bhagavan, you are not supposed to take. If you say food is Bhagavan, then don't eat. If food is Bhagavan, then don't eat. If water is Bhagavan, don't drink. If air is Bhagavan, don't breathe. Then that's the only solution. How will you handle that? I say, whatever you are receiving a blessing of Bhagavan. Be grateful to them and be reverential to them. Have veneration for them. Have veneration for them. And see the blessing of Bhagavan through all these things. I think for a beginning sadhaka, for children, this works so that you know how to handle them, how to deal with the things and the people around. This can help. Okay. Therefore, Jiva Ishvara relation, when we are using the body, mind, and sense organs, one side be grateful that Bhagavan is giving this body, mind, and sense organ. Another side, watch, you become dependent on body, mind, and sense organ. Because without body, without mind, without sense organs, you can't do. When you are dependent, what happens? Then you have to pay taxes for using them. And then not only you have to pay taxes for using the body and mind and sense organ. Since they are foreign bodies, not essential nature of you, body, mind, and sense organs are not of your essential nature. They are foreign bodies adopted by you. So therefore, foreign body follows foreigners' rules. They won't listen to you. They will listen to you in a limited sense. Like you get a cell phone. Whatever the manufacturer put in it, it will follow that. It will follow the rules made by the manufacturer, not you. You are only a user. The money you paid is only to use you. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate. Sometimes it puts restrictions. You are restricted. Okay. Therefore, Deshaka, when you are using body, mind, and sense organs, you are jiva, you are dependent. Then that body, mind, and sense organs work within the time and space and within Panchabhutas. So there is somebody who governs the Panchabhuta, time and space, and your body, mind, and sense organs, all your activities and thoughts and experiences, because they have to follow certain laws. So all these laws and society, everything is governed by Ishvara. Therefore, when you take yourself as a body and look at Ishvara, look at the truth. Ishvara means look at the truth. Then naturally, the truth which is independent of the body. Wow. See here, independent means in two sense. In worldly sense, if a person is independent, only means simply he is independent, nothing more. But here, in Vedantic sense, not only somebody, a higher officer, a person who has got higher power, like sense organs are superior to body. Then the mind is superior to sense organs. Then Sakshi Atma is superior to mind. Okay, whoever is superior is not only independent of lower forms, but is also governs the lower form. He supports them, looks after them, forms the basis. So similarly, Ishvara is not only independent of the body and the world, he is also supporter of the world. His independence is supporter. Ishvara is independent of the world, two ways independent. His independent means his very presence is not limited to any given object. Therefore, he is not within time and space. He is not a given part alone, given object. Therefore, he is not limited to time and space. He pervades the entire world. That means the world is under his control. World depends on him. He is independent of the world. World depends on him. He gives a support to the world. Okay. So when he gives support to the world, he gives support to me also, who is part of the world. Me means Jiva. Jiva who is part of the world. Okay. So at this point he says, Avidyatmaka upadi paricheda apekshameva. Ishwarasya ishwaratvam sarvajnatvam sarvashaktitvancha. So Ishvara also, Jiva is naturally limited. Okay. Because he is bound by his body, mind, and sense organs. For his knowledge, for his actions, for his experiences, is dependent upon body, mind, and sense organs. But Ishvara is also a relative term. Upadi apeksham we say. Ishvara is upadi apeksham when we say, it doesn't mean he is bound by the upadi. He is only using the upadi, not bound by upadi. Means his nature is not bound by upadi. That's important. His nature is not bound by upadi. His nature's expression is restricted by upadi. See the difference. See the difference. His nature like the sun. Sun is giving his light. But when it has to reach us, it has to come through, pass through window. But window or whatever small hole, it has to come to us. So that window having restrictions, being limited, it permits only certain light, not the entire light. Okay. So the upadi filters means permits only certain degree of light. Similarly, the upadi doesn't restrict Paramatma. Restricting Paramatma means Paramatma himself becomes controlled by upadi. No, that's not right. Paramatma doesn't become controlled by upadi. Paramatma's help, expression, blessings, all his guidance, that when they reach us Jiva, when they come to Jiva, Bhagavan's help or blessing or whatever that comes to Jivas, come to the world, there it has to pass through upadi. Okay. Paramatma's help and blessing and all that has to pass through upadi. That upadi restricts his expression, not his own, his power. It doesn't restrict his power. It restricts his expression. Okay. This is the difference. Therefore, Upadhi Sapeksha Ishvara means his expression to Jiva, is helping the Jiva, blessing the Jiva. That blessing has to pass through. Not only passes through Upadhi, it has to be restricted by his karma also, because it has to come through Ishvara, Ishvara's Upadhi, Mayopadhi, or Namarupa Upadhi. And it has to reach Jiva means it has to pass through Desha, Kala, time, space, and his own karma, and his own capacity to receive. To receive your body, mind, and sense organs, you should be capable. Okay? If you have a vessel, whatever the vessel, if it is a 1 liter vessel, even if you go to ocean, ocean may be mine of water, ocean may be infinite water, but if your vessel is only 1 liter, you can receive only 1 liter. The receptivity of your vessel is only limited. Similarly, your mind is limited. It can receive limited experiences alone. Sense organs are limited, body is limited. Therefore, you can receive limited, and your karma governs. And that blessing has to pass through Panchabhutas, Maya, all these Namarupa. So all these Namarupa, Panchabhuta restricts. Therefore, we say, Samashti Namarupa is Ishvara. Shankaracharya says, Samashti Namarupa, called Maya. The Samashti Namarupa, called Maya, is the Ishvara's Upadhi. And Jiva's Upadhi is Maya, made of Maya. Maya means Namarupa. What is constructed by Maya? What is constructed? Constructed means made of Maya. Same Namarupa, made of Namarupa, a certain small part, a certain body with certain qualities, certain desha, certain kala, certain qualities. Therefore, out of the total Namarupa, only certain part is taken and it is combined in a particular way, reformulated, reshaped. That Namarupa shaped in a particular way according to your karma, that constitutes your body. Okay. Therefore, karma also comes into picture for the Namarupa to become the body. So, Jiva's body is Dehendriya Manaha, Sanghata. Dehendriya Sanghata is Jiva's Upadhi. But Samashti Namarupa, Ishvara's Upadhi is not Sanghata. That remember. It is not Sanghata. It is complete, total Namarupa. In Shankara Bhashyam, nowhere we say Ishvara's Upadhi is a Sanghata. Jiva's Upadhi is a Sanghata. It's an aggregate of body, mind, and sense organs combined and made into a shape. But Ishvara's Upadhi is an Namarupa. But that Upadhi is not for him. Upadhi for his functioning and his blessings and knowledge and his capacity, everything has to pass on to reach the Jiva, to reach the people in the world. There it is an Upadhi. So he uses the Upadhi to express his blessing to Jivas. Okay, now here, the Tadevam Avidyatmaka Upadhi Paricheda Apekshameva Ishwarasya Ishwaratvam. So Ishwarasya Ishwaratvam means, we have already discussed in our previous class, according to Shankara, Ishvara and Brahma are not two levels. As post Shankarites call. Ishvara is a Saguna Brahma, this is what post Shankarites say. He is a lower level, Nirguna Brahma is Brahma. No. Shankaracharya calls Ishvara is a Nirguna. And since Ishvara is a Brahma and Brahma is Ishvara, he uses these two words interchangeably. Therefore, there is no lower Brahma and higher Brahma. Same Brahma looked from two standpoints, that's all. You look from two angles, not that they are of two levels. Like in their power, officers are in their power. He's got a lower officer, lower cadre and higher cadre. Lower officer and higher officer. So his powers are restricted now. There is no lower and higher Ishvara. Lower Ishvara, what is that? Lower Ishvara, higher Ishvara. It is the same Brahman. looked from two angles. One is a relative angle, another is absolute angle. Okay. Therefore, he uses the Ishvara for Brahman word for Ishvara. So interchangeably, Shankara Bhashya uses. So therefore, if we don't know these things, people are trying to interpret Shankara Bhashya in the light of post-Shankarite commentators. Then, for example, Parinama, Vivarta, I don't know whether I have touched these things. Parinama is a modification. Vivarta is a simple appearance. Rope appears as a snake. Okay, it is this Parinama and Vivarta, these meanings have been given by, assigned by post-Shankarites. In Shankara's time, whether you call Parinama and Vivarta, it means same. So, a real modification and an appearance. These two meanings have been divided by post-Shankarites. If you see the Shankara, in all places he calls them Parinama, 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 word he uses commonly. Brahma Jagat Rupena Parinama. That's all. And what is that? Milk Parinamate. Milk transforms as a god. Ishvara transforms. Only thing is he calls his Maya Parinama. Maya Satkarya Bala. Maya Parinama. Maya Parinama means Mayik Parinama, not Maya Parinama. Maya Parinama is a post-Shankarite's idea. Mayik Parinama. Mayik means there is no real transformation. He appears, that's all. That Mayik Parinama, not Maya Parinama. Mayik Parinama. Okay. So Paramatma himself appears in the world. So this Parinama Vivarta, these two words, their meaning is fixed. Parinama means real transformation. Vivarta means superficial transformation. Superficial means only appears without undergoing any change. Without undergoing intrinsically any change, it simply appears. Okay. These meanings are fixed by post-Shankarites. But in Shankara Bhashya, you don't find that. He uses Maya, Vivarta both synonymously. But the meaning idea is there. There is a real transformation. Okay, the idea is there, but he uses the same word. Uses the same word for both. According to the context, we have to understand. Anyway, similarly here, so that Ishvara is a lower level. He uses the word Ishvara for directly Brahma because Ishvara is Jagat Karanam, just as he says. Brahman is Jagat Karanam also, he says. Brahman is Jagat Karanam, Ishvara is Jagat Karanam. So the post-Shankarites, I think this Karya Karana Bhava has to come next point. But anyway, since I have touched it, let me complete it. Post-Shankarites have stated that Saguna Brahma called as Ishvara by them, by those post-Shankarites. Saguna Brahma, Mayopadika Brahma called as Ishvara is Jagat Karana. Nirguna Brahma is not Jagat Karana. They put it this way. But Shankara says the same Brahman, Nirgunam Brahman alone is Jagat Karana. Because Karya Karana Prakriya, the purpose of Karya Karana method, purpose of teaching cause and effect is Tada Ananyatvamārambhana Shabdadibhyaha, to teach oneness, to teach the Jagat as one with Brahman. In fact, product, the creation has been never there. There is nothing produced from Ishvara. By this teaching, what it wants to convey is what you see as Jagat is not an independent entity, neither it is an independent entity, nor it is born of Ishvara, not born of Paramatma. It is one with Paramatma. Before it was one, now it is one, all the time it is always one. It is due to your misunderstanding you see the Jagat. Otherwise there is no Jagat. It is always true. What you see, what you perceive as Jagat, the Jagat itself is not, Jagat doesn't know that it is Jagat. You perceive it as Jagat, just as snake, you perceive it as snake, but snake doesn't know that it is a snake. Snake knows that it is rope alone. See, the snake knows that it is rope. And you see the snake. So therefore, it is your problem of perception. You see the snake, but the snake itself knows that it is rope. What a strange thing. You see the world, but the world itself knows means it is Brahman alone. World doesn't know that I am the world. I am a world, people are watching at me. World is Brahman by itself. See, this is an interesting point. Therefore, Brahma and Ishvara are not two. They are only stated from two angles. It is like the same person is called certain officer in his office. At home, he is called his father of children, or he is called husband of his wife. So, is the person different when you call him husband or father or some officer at home, in the office, in his working place? He's a manager in his working place. Now, is manager higher and father lower? Or his husband is higher and father lower? So, this father, husband, or manager, they are not three. There is no higher lower relationship between these three. There are three ways of looking the one person. Okay, isn't it? They are the three ways of looking that one person. Similarly, that Jagat Karanam, when we say Jagat Karanam is same Brahman, called as Karanam from the standpoint of the world. But the post Shankarites say Brahman is not Jagat Karanam. There is a lower Brahman called Saguna Brahman, Mayopadika Brahman. He creates the world and the Brahman remains in Nirguna. They put as a two stages, two levels of Ishvara and Brahman. Then Shankara's statements get contradict your understanding. Then whenever they contradict, they start giving a different interpretation. Particularly Anandagiri gives different interpretation. Therefore, Brahman is one. Therefore, Ishwarasya Ishwaratvam, here you see, Ishwarasya Ishwaratvam is due to Upadhi, due to Avidya. Then you wonder, you mean Ishvara is not there without Upadhi? Seeing this, our Dvaitins, like many Dvaitin, all are Dvaitin, all non-Advaitins are Dvaitins only. We call them in a sweepingly one word. All non-Advaitins are Dvaitins only. Whether they are Dvaitins, Vishishta-Dvaitins, Dvaita-Dvaitins, Ramanuja, Shankara, what is that? Nimbarka, Vallabha and many others. Arya Samaj and many others. Okay. They take it like that. They misunderstand Advaitins and they say, if Ishvara is only from the lower level, then you mean there is no Ishvara. Then Brahman is not Ishvara. Then there is no Ishvara. Therefore, they say that, oh, Ishvara is only with reference to the world, but himself he doesn't exist. This is how they misunderstand. We say, you take it like this. A person is a father with reference to his children. In relationship with his children, he is a father. But before the children was born, he existed as a human being. He exists. Even if children die, still he continues to exist. Similarly, Paramatma remains Paramatma, but he is called ruler with reference to the world. With reference to Jivas, he is called a ruler. The rulership is a relative reference, not an extra position. It doesn't mean he assumes another position. There is no assumption. He is same Brahman. Same Brahman, he is called Ishvara with reference to the world. If there is no reference to the world, then that relative name, that relative thing doesn't exist, ceases to exist. The relative name ceases to be there when you stop looking from the world, from the Jiva standpoint. Therefore, avidyatmaka upadhi apekshameva Ishvara. So this doesn't prove Ishvara means whom you call it. See, Ishvara is a relative name, the relation. So the relation of Ishvara goes away, but his existence doesn't go away. Okay? He exists like before. He exists all along. Only his relationship with the Jiva, that is purely being relational. When you stop looking from Jiva standpoint, the relation goes up. But to whom you relate to, that entity exists, Brahman exists. Therefore, Ishwarasya Ishwaratvam avidyopadikam. Then Sarvajnatvam, Sarvashaktitvam. That he is a Sarvajna. He is all-knower is also from the worldly standpoint. Regarding all-knower, we have to discuss again. We will discuss in the next. Okay. Then Sarvashaktitvam also. Paramartataha. In reality. Paramartha doesn't mean certain higher level. There is no higher level. Ever existing is Paramartha. Eternally existing is Paramartha. Paramartha means really, not relatively. That's what it means. Relatively, you look relatively, then you see something. When you are not looking relatively, that is Paramartha. Paramartha doesn't mean another level. Don't put two levels, higher and lower. It is the same, not looked relatively. Okay. So in the Paramartha, Vidyaya. Paramartha is understood only through knowledge. Knowledge means the relational status, the relative thing you remove. Then Vidyaya apasta sarvopadisvarupe. Through Vidya, through knowledge, all the relations have been negated. Everything is negated, all avastha is negated. Then he is not even Jiva. He is not even Ishvara. Ishvara for whom? He has to rule somebody else. There can't be a ruler without his kingdom. Okay. He is the ruler with reference to his word. So, apasta sarvopadhi swarupe atmani ishitri ishitavya sarvajnatvadi vyavahara. Even ishitru ishitavya. He is an Ishvara ruler and he is ruled. He is Sarvajna and these are the things he is knowing. This division ceases. Ceases means it doesn't exist. So, ityadi vyavaharaha upapadyate. It is only vyavahara. Sarvajnatvam is only vyavahara. Sarvashaktitvam is a vyavahara. Rulership is only Ishwaratvam is a vyavahara. Okay. But himself exists all along. Okay. Therefore, omniscience also is like that. Sarvajnatvam. Oh, only 5 minutes. Okay. Sarvajnatvam means omniscience. He says here, it would not be an accurate deduction from the above cited excerpt, means Bhashyavakya, to think that omniscience of Brahman is wholly a figment of avidya. Sarvajnatvam is purely avidya kalpita. We can't think like that. Sarvajnatvam Paramatma is not avidya kalpita. This present days, 12th point I am talking, reading. Brahman may not be knower. See, Sarvajna means we think he knows everything, all the details. So the details he may not know. The detail, all the world he may not know. But what makes him all knower is his nature of consciousness. So he is that nature of consciousness. Because of his nature, he can know everything. Okay. He can know everything because on account of his nature of consciousness. That nature of consciousness is Sarvajna. Therefore, Sarvajnatvam relative, in a way you can say it is right, but relative also is not right because in his nature as consciousness is always Sarvajna. Brahman may not be the knower of all from the Paramarthic standpoint, in as much as there is really nothing else to be known, because from the standpoint of Brahman himself, he cannot be called Sarvajna because Sarvajna means all knower. When there is no all, where is the question of all knower? Okay. When there is no all, where is the question of all knower? Therefore, it is a relative name. Sarvajnatvam is a relative name, but the content Sarvajnatvam, pure consciousness is the real nature. It is Sarvajnatvam is a relative name. So that relative name, let it go away, doesn't matter. In other words, there is really nothing else to be known. Okay. But consciousness or the knowing nature itself. Consciousness is the very nature of knowing. Jnana Swarupa. The very knowing Swarupa, the nature of knowing. The very nature of knowing, he cannot give up. It is not relative. His nature of knowing is not relative. It is his very nature. Okay. Is the intrinsic nature of reality. Knowing nature is his intrinsic. Therefore, and as such, can never be alienated from. So the intrinsic nature of knowing cannot be lost sight of. The nature of knowing, Brahman cannot lose. Brahman cannot lose his very nature of knowing. Okay. Inasmuch as can never be alienated from Brahman. Sankara says this in so many words in the following statement. Yasya hi sarva vishaya avabhasana kshamam jnanam nityamasti. So asarvajnaha iti vipratishiddham. So when we say that Ishvara freed from relativeness is no more sarvajna, when we say, it shouldn't be understood that he becomes alpajna. When you say he loses sarvajnam, doesn't mean he loses, he becomes alpajna. No. Then what does it mean? He is the very nature of consciousness. The very nature of consciousness is called sarvajna. That's all. Sarvajna literally should not be taken. Literally, it means knowing all. But all knowing is all consciousness alone. All knowing means what? All consciousness. When he's already consciousness, always consciousness. That's what he is. He's always Sarvajna. Okay. Then after Sarvajna, little Sarvashakti Matvam is there. That also we will see. And cause and effect in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat.